While watching Nowhere, directed by Albert Pinto, there were many scenes that made me think, oh my bejeevers. So, pick up a cup of tea and let's get into the nitty-gritty. As you saw in the intro, I watched the Spanish language film Nowhere, starring Ana Castillo, who plays Mia. Set sometime in the near future, Mia and her husband Nico, played by Tamar Novas, live in Spain, which is ruled by a dictatorship. They figure out that the only way to survive is by leaving their country illegally. There are lots of scenes with chaos in the background. Mia and Nico board a shipping container along with dozens of others, but later get separated. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually, Mia winds up alone in the shipping container when everyone else is murdered at a military checkpoint. The container is then loaded on a huge barge. When the ship encounters a storm and sinks, Mia is left alone, locked in the container, which is floating in the middle of the ocean. The rest of the movie had me asking, how the cornuts is she going to get out and be saved? We spend the majority of the movie alone with Mia. That puts a whole lot of pressure on the actor, Ana. And let me tell you, she's so good that even critics who bombed the movie out of the water liked her performance. For example, Marshall Shaffer slams the movie. Quote, simply inflicting trauma after trauma upon a lead does not automatically make their struggles interesting, end quote. Ouch, that was harsh. But he admits that Ana Castillo absolutely commits as Mia. At best, she has a baby to act opposite in any given scene, so it's on her to make all the magic happen. And my friends, Ana releases that magic indeed. She really puts her heart into this role. Her character is pregnant at the beginning of the film. She eventually goes into labor while stuck in the shipping container. It's a very short labor, and I don't really know how realistic that timing is, but when she gives birth to the baby, she dunks her waist in the water and lets it loose. It's at this point that I open my eyes wide and my mouth, I was like, in total shock. Total shock. They actually showed the baby being born. Like the baby just is flung out into the water. The baby floats before Mia picks it up and cradles it. Man, this, I'm telling you, this looks more real than real. It's like I'm there at the baby's birth. Ana's body is really dirty and wet because she's been in this container for a while. And when you see underwater and the baby comes out, all these slimy and gross substances come out along with the baby. Oh, God. Ugh. I found somebody who wrote an article about it, so I'm not the only one to have that question. With that said, another scene shows her feeding her baby with breast milk. I told myself at that time, no way, no. I bet if they show her breastfeeding, that they won't actually show it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not real. What do you know? She pulls out her breast, puts the baby near it, and boom! You see real white substances coming out of her nipple. Out of the actual nipple. Like you could see it. Like I'm like, OMG. Especially in this country, in the United States, where mostly conservatives tend to be very squeamish about seeing that kind of thing. In fact, a lot of people are against feeding their babies in public. And here they show this on a public forum, Netflix. They show a woman pull out her breast. So I'm thinking, how, if this isn't real, how did they make it look that real? I mean, Maybe they had the actual mother of the baby at that point stand in for Anna. I don't know, but it looks totally real. And again, my face was like, whoa. Not because I like seeing women's breasts. Don't get me wrong, please don't misinterpret me. I do like seeing women's breasts, but in this case, it wasn't that kind of thing. It was a mother feeding her child. It was like feeding your toddler with a spoon, right? But in this case, it was just with her breast, right? But again, I was just dumbfounded by that scene. The emotions are very raw and real. Anna, the actor, is actually screaming in pain. She really cries. She's just amazing. I mean, I even read an article online where it says that she really actually screamed, and she screamed so much that at the end of the day, her throat was like, and she could barely talk because she screamed so loudly and it was so real. She's just amazing. And by far my favorite part of the whole film is when Mia uses a cloth or a piece of clothing to pry open a piece of metal that she cut previously so that she can get out of the container. I mean, she's just pulling at that thing and you can see her muscles. Like she really has some biceps on her, right? She's just, she's like that. Just pulling it down, putting her entire body into it. Her legs are flexing. She's just like pulling it down. And so finally it comes down. And man, it's just amazing. The main set is inside a shipping container, leading to a claustrophobic feel for the audience member. But that's exactly what the director wanted. I felt like I was in the container and I had an overwhelming desire to get out. I wanted that part of the film to be resolved. I wanted her to get out and to be saved. This was a job well done on the film crew's part. I give this movie a 9, and mostly because of the actor Anna. She really carried the film to its finale and made the story seem real. I also like that the screenwriters were brave enough to make a film about an undocumented immigrant who had to leave her country for no fault of her own. It's not always a simple matter to go through the legal system to get a visa, blah, blah, blah. You know the story. Sometimes people just have to get up and go, and that was her case. She didn't have time to plan it out. She just had to grab a bag with her husband, along with her husband, and just leave, because if they didn't, they'd be dead. So go watch this movie on Netflix. It was still available at the time of this recording. After you watch it, tell me what you thought. Did you like the movie? Did it have you think about the immigration system in the United States or your country, wherever that may be, like I started thinking about it? If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because that really helps me develop this channel and bring you more content like this. Thank you for watching. I'm Ramon, signing out.